Morning, everybody. Hello. Yes, we are back. What we're going to do today is a little early September tour of the garden. I mean, I've been doing quite a few videos, as you know, time on my hands. But I thought, like a kind of a roundup, a wrap up of the garden for early September. So, my name is Tony Smith, and this is my garden. So we're coming into that, just gently easing into the autumn, fall, and certainly the days are getting shorter. I can tell, do you know what I mean? I do wake up, crack of dawn anyways. And I'm just noticing things like, it's getting dark round about 8 o'clock at night as well, so you can see that effect with the garden. So we'll start with the potatoes, because my plan, what I'm thinking now is, because I'm kind of going to try and do a lot of Brussels sprouts for the greens, I'm just going to pick these tubs up and just let them kind of sit fallow, if you know, and use this maybe for a bed just to grow a lot of greens, through the kind of winter and the early spring. So that's the intention. My potatoes haven't been good, I'll be honest. They've been shocking. The volunteer ones in the soil are getting way better than what my tubs are. And I think it's just lack of water, to be honest. They've had feed, they've had all this, that and the other. But it hasn't been happening. I've had a few boil ups, but nothing's, to shout home about. You can see the sunflowers are just starting. Okay, well, not just starting. They've had the day, do you know what I mean? And you can see them actually seeds are popping out there, so I'm hoping the birds are getting them. I'm trying to keep some of the seeds before I lose them on the ground, you see, just so I've got them like through the year. I can kind of give them to the birds. So we have 3 beds here. In the far bed we have some chard, which I'm hoping is not going to run to seed. It was kind of neglected a little bit. I think it's the Ford hook, I think it's called, chard. It was neglected a little bit, but it seems to have like come back and sprung up, and them leaves at the moment are just perfect for picking. But they're great for picking, but I want these plants to last, so I want them a little bit bigger, mature. Now these are a salad that I'm not 100%. That's not a salad, that's a dandelion, I think. No, I don't think it actually is, but it looks like, I can't tell the difference from a dandelion to a bloody, I'm sure they're a salad, so that must be a salad. Now, I've actually come up for some carrots as well, so I've got this net on. Let me just throw this and open it up to all the carrot root fly party time. So I've started picking the carrots. Now these were, if you remember, the strip carrots. I'm just trying to see, and they're all right. Do you know what I mean? I'm taking them to the bank. I'm going to get some bigger ones just for the tea. There's a nice one. We're having like a Sunday dinner. Oops, I'm tripping up. Tea, there's one there. So those were them strips, and to be honest, I thought they were great. This was a kind of mothered bed. I'd put a nice bit of compost on. Now look at that. I'll still boil that bugger. What a shame. Oh, there was another good. Oh, there's a nice one. So carrots in the general terms have been good. Now I'm just gonna, there's another big one just in there. Oh, little stumpy thing as well. Right, get this sheet back over, because they'll be in straight away. What else we got? We've got these are banana shallots that haven't kind of done anything, to be honest. It's just, do you know what I mean? Actually, I don't know. Maybe they're spring onions, I'm not 100% sure. I thought they were banana shallots, but even with banana shallots, they're still a bit disappointing. Parsnips. Now, maybe I've knocked me parsnips because of all this. We'll just have to wait and see. The jury's out until I kind of start pulling them, you know. So maybe they're like jungles, and it might be that it's kind of just knocked them a little bit. But what I'm more kind of disappointed about is I've missed this chance for beans. I'm still going to pick them, still going to eat them, but I just had probably too many, and these climbing ones have been left, and maybe they're just a little bit too, like, you know, that kind of roughness. But Steve says you can just strip the core out and they're still nice, but they might just have like a bit too much. But I find if you just steam them to hell and back. So leeks have been a bit of a disappointment for us, to be honest. They're getting rust. I've got rust on there now, and quite a few of them, as you can see, I've cut that one off. I've been running the seed. I'm going to say possibly a third of these have ran to seed. And I didn't want that many, but a bit frustrated, to be honest. Right, these are dwarf beans. These are getting picked today as well. So there were dwarf beans, and the ones on that wigwam are dwarf beans. So I think these are Hilton dwarf beans. Now, Radicchio is looking good, but have you seen how just those three, which are kind of in direct line of sunlight for that sunflower, them three have just seem to be knocked. Now look at the others, you know what I mean? They're perfect. The others are almost like show quality, you know, and they're firming up and everything. But them, you know, we talked about this on the potty mouth, you know, do sunflowers affect certain plants? Anyway, what else we got there? We've got a spare bed waiting for brassicas. We've got some, this is the garden centre brassicas, which I planted the other day, looking all right. It is the January King ones. Sweet corn. Now I'm pulling sweet corn at the moment. We had, my friend and myself came up last night before we went for a walk with the dogs, picked two, and then we went home and had Marks and Spencer's. Let's turn you around. We had Marks and Spencer's dirty fries. We're watching the Foo Fighters live streaming concert. We had dirty fries and sweet corn, and the sweet corn was absolutely lovely. So was the dirty fries, mind you. So yes, that's good. As you can see, the salad, we're getting there now. And if anybody watched, do you remember I planted those little bulbs, you know, the ones spare, the set spare? Well, they've come and they're nearly ready for spring onions, you know what I mean? There's some more spring onions. So salad's getting back on track, which is a blessing, to be honest. So sweet corn, brilliant. Yes, we're in there now. That's, you kind of get, Steve was right, mind, he did say this, Tony, these might grow to, like, they're beautiful, mind you. They might grow to about, you know, kind of chest high, and they're up to me gut, the Cosmo ones, so they're a nice big plant. So I've got some more dwarf beans there. I've got some banana shallots there. Now I'll just pull one. So they look amazing, but they just look like big spring onions. They don't seem to be bulbing up. I mentioned this to Steve. I don't know what, and they just feel light and nothing to them, no substance are out. But I don't know if it's just a variety or something. Well, I don't know. Not really going to plan. Cabbage there, been just bitten there, just going to go in the compost heap there. We're getting the broccoli, the beetroot is again beetroot that was planted in strips, paper strips, and it's been lovely, absolutely gorgeous. You know, the lovely size at the moment. I don't need any tonight, but again, I can recommend just using that, you know what I mean? It's like spaced out individually. It's lovely, to be honest. They're in like strips, and this was a mixture, you know, this was different varieties. And I did a boil up about 2 days ago, picked quite a bit, to be honest. So we've got a big bowl full in the fridge. So there, just some cabbage. I don't know if it's even worth trying to keep. You can see the snails have been in, the tiny snails. Then maybe I get something from that one and possibly that one. That's a bed just spare, which will again get some brassicas in. I grew brassicas, but I'm not going to even worry about like brassicas. Just put them in, give them a nice feed. and put them in. The worst vegetable in the world, this is my fennel, and a couple's ran to seed, can you see? So a couple of I think they're running to seed, to be honest. The other ones seem to be kind of, if you look, like flattening out, where they haven't. I'm going to actually pull it to show you, you know. So yes, we'll see. We may get some. If I get one, then I'll be happy. This bed's been neglected, to be honest, if I'm honest. It was outside tomatoes, it was sunflowers, and there was some banana shallots. Now look at these banana shallots. Yeah. Since March. Bloody hell. I mean, it's been neglected, to be honest. I haven't really even bothered with it. I did put drinking things in for the tomato plants, but I've had that much tomatoes, I haven't really bothered with it. The sunflowers were great. There's a few little tomatoes there, but no, I did clean out. This is waiting for the strawberry bed. I love it when you see a new strawberry, like a new bed, and it's still unweeded. Do you know what I mean? There's still no weeds coming. We have Cavalier Nero, which I've netted continually, and it's been fine. Now remember, I was having trouble. This is me sprouting broccoli for next year, next April, and it's come back loads. To be honest, I was nearly losing it with all the cabbage white butterflies and that, but I sprayed the BT and it did wonders, absolutely wonders on it. So that's kind of fixed that bed. More banana shallots there. See, some have gone into a bulb, which is, you know, it's all right, I'll take that. But some just seem to have stayed like onions almost, and just like stupid spring onions. I don't know. Actually, these need a bit of a water. These are my certain brassicas, and actually certain the ones from garden centres as well, but they need a little bit of a water. They're looking a little bit dry there, but I need to kind of net that as well. This bed and this bed, I know I've got flowers in, will be used for the brassicas when I bring them up. I've got a lot of brassicas coming up, and I'll just need the bed, so these will be cleared out. And lovely colour, aren't they? Raspberries have been brilliant. We have had loads, to be honest. Everyone's been coming up and picking them. So, can you see? It's all been good this year. Still loads on. Rhubarb's been fantastic. You can tell by my gut. That's all in here. All right, let's have a little look in the tunnel. So we've had a great year, to be honest, with the tomatoes. It's been absolutely belting. I could spend now a good 30 minutes picking tomatoes, but we've got to take the dogs for a walk, so I'll do that tomorrow. Cucumbers have been fantastic. These are, I think they're called, did I say Carmen ones? Can you see there? Look at this. 3 kind of just almost ready to go. All the brads are just, everything's looking good, and great crops in here. These have been my favourite ones this year, mind you. These are those black strawberries Audrey sent over. So they've just been, like I say, we're still right in the throes of, you know, there's so many on. These black strawberries start off not giving much fruit, but by God, they've caught up, and it's just loads. Now these are, remember them peppers, and it looks like at least I'll get some green chilies, should I say, on them. You know, they're starting, and all I've been doing is just putting like feed in there, and they're sitting in water. Do you know what I mean? But they seem to be doing all right. To be better, way better than, and they've kind of been almost like neglected, if I'm honest. But that seems how I get to grow. So these Barry's crazy cherries. Whether I'll grow them next year, I don't know. But there's that many. Honestly, you only need about 2 or 3 of them, because the whole fridge is just taken up with Barry's crazy cherry tomatoes. So it's been excellent, and these different varieties here. These are just like, oh. So I'm I'm chuffed, to be honest. You know, it's like I've had not kind of, you know what I mean. It's been the early part of the kind of season. I was like pushed for time and that, but I've got time there now, and there's still things I'm kind of a little bit disappointed about. But on the general, I'm probably 75%, 80% happy with the kind of way the season's gone. The sun did kind of, like I say, the potatoes, certain things have just kind of been butchered. But anyway, follow along, look after yourselves, take good care.